All right, everybody. Warning. Rick Wilson is a little Nazi terrorist. And you better wake up to people like him, America, no matter what your party affiliation is. You better wake up. The Congress better wake up. Anyhow, this is warning to all politicians. I'm running for president 2024, part 145B. So looking at the stuff that happened at the Capitol, you see how many thousands upon thousands of people are there. And you look at the small group that went into the Capitol building. And you have the nerve to say insurrection and blame it on Trump. You see the Capitol Police waving people in. Waving people in. Most of the crowd was there looking like, what the hell's going on? And then some of them probably got caught up in it and wanted to go inside, see what the hell was going on. But the group that was breaking stuff and doing all that kind of shit, they're in no way the mainstream representatives of people who support Trump. Ain't no way. You look at all the rallies Trump has had. Truly peaceful rallies and protests of people who supported Trump. Not like the leftist crowd, not like Antifa, not like BLM. You know, they took over, Seattle and Portland. Held parts of that whole city hostage. Did you hear anything out of the mouths of the members of Congress? Like you're hearing about what happened at the Capitol? Anything at all? I defy you. Find me some stuff. Anything at all. So, I'm telling you, there's some serious mind F going on. And I'm beginning to think a lot of the Republicans are in on it, or they're just plain stupid, or worried about their own political hack careers that they're not gonna say or do too much. And the phony baloney statement released by Joe Biden about, how was it his daughter or somebody said, that's not right. If, at the BLM thing, there were guys, National Guard and, combat uniforms or whatever to protect the Lincoln Memorial. How phony can you get? I mean, even if you're a Democrat, you have to watch him say that, and you can't tell that is some contrived bullshit. Well, number one, they were, rioting, burning, doing shit all summer long, tearing down statues, etc. So I guess maybe there was a reason when they were having protests at places there was more security. But anyhow, That being said, even though there wasn't more security at the Capitol, the behavior of the Capitol Police and the small group of people who got in and were doing all the nasty stuff, I told you to watch out for false flags. Now you look at the head of that security force, take a good look at him, and then, he got fired. Anybody digging into what his political affiliation is and all that kind of stuff? Probably not. But I told you to look for false flag stuff, and that there's been so much hocus pocus, and it's not going to stop with these people. If you go back and you look at what that happened at the Capitol, if you can tell me that doesn't look staged, then I think you must be smoking some of that legalized weed. If you can tell me that does not look staged, like I said, there's a lot of staged stuff going on. It's been going on all summer long. And the way they release stuff and everything that's been staged. And I keep saying, who's behind this and everything. Well, one person I would tell you to look at and see who's got a hand in a lot of this stuff. Like I said, it might be CIA, might be foreign, whatever. But I have no doubt after watching that Rick Wilson guy on that TV show, I have no doubt at all that he would have part in contriving stuff and the news being seen. I have absolutely no doubt that CNN hasn't staged stuff. It's just like when you watch the Weather Channel and it shows that guy and he's all, the waters and the wind and everything, and then two guys walk by him casually. He's standing there like he can barely stand up and all that. And that he's in chest high water and shit. And two guys walk behind him that are, barefoot and in shorts and just strolling along. It's not just the Weather Channel that stages stuff. All these shows have producers and this and that. And hey, we got to make it. They got to sell it. They got to sell it. They got to give you something to tune into. And then you throw in the political to it. That's the dangerous thing to it. It'd be one thing if like the Weather, it's just some jerk off staging stuff so they can get people to watch. But when you put the political shit with it, and you incite people to riot and everything like that, you're going too far. Has anybody heard the members of Congress say anything about investigating these networks? Anything at all? Anything at all about investigating the networks and their ethics? Anything? Nope. Have you heard any of them talk about pulling licenses? Nope. No members of Congress. You got all these quote-unquote fact checkers who who aren't fact checkers or anything like that, also pushing narratives. Have you heard anything from any members of Congress about investigating false reporting? And if networks are staging certain events? Nope. So I want to apologize for my yelling in the previous one, but I'm telling you, that made my blood boil. When that son of a bitch started talking about hunting people down because they voted for Donald Trump. It was bad enough Bush Jr. administration wiped their ass with the Constitution and started taking your civil liberties away, and then overstepped their authority to attack a nation who had nothing to do with 9/11. But it's getting worse. It's getting worse. Absolutely, positively getting worse. So anyway, I mentioned in a few videos ago about, seeing movies like Logan's Run and stuff in 1984. You look at how those societies are. There's another one too, Soylent Green, which I think they ought to remake a lot of these movies. I've been saying for years, Schwarzenegger, you're getting up there in age. The Terminator thing's kind of perfect role for Arnold Schwarzenegger. Play Charlton Heston's part and remake Soylent Green. If you ain't never seen that movie, check it out. Soylent Green. A lot of these youngsters out here don't know about these movies. I mean, some of them know about, like, Will Smith and Legion. That was a remake of a Charlton Heston movie. The effects and all that are better now for a lot of these, and so that brings me finally to Gargoyles. That movie, when I was a kid, scared the hell out of me. Now, if you go back and watch it now, the costumes and stuff, it's kind of hokey. But back then, for whatever reason, that movie just scared the hell out of me. I forget how old I was when I seen it. But anyway, in that movie, there's these creatures that have been living underground for centuries. And got me thinking, because I was talking about some of the Hindu stuff the other day. For whatever reason, tonight, I thought of that movie Gargoyles, and then it was like, oh, wait a minute. Reptile people who live underground. It was in one of those videos about the Hindu writings. I was like, it's kind of weird how, stuff, you got to wonder, did the writers of that have any background in what that was, or is it a coincidence? Anyhow, if you haven't seen it, check out that movie Gargoyles. I think that's another one that ought to be remade, because with the effects you got these days and everything, could see Schwarzenegger playing the father archaeologist guy in that movie too. Or Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise would be good in that too, I think. A remake of the Gargoyles, because a lot of those old movies were good movies. Even if you look at the effects and stuff, it's like, you know, especially kids today look at it and go, what? People watch this? What? But, which I'm sure if the world goes on another 20 years or whatever, the effects they have then will dwarf what they have now. Maybe not even 20 years. But, which will go a lot to false flags and staging things, by the way. Which I'm sure it probably already has in a lot of things. But, not to get sidetracked there. You look at Planet of the Apes and stuff like that from back then compared to the recent Planet of the Apes. It's like night and day as far as effects go. And the makeup and all that kind of stuff. So, anyway, there's two ideas out there. I've posted those ideas before, you know, on other YouTube things, you know, where looking at trailers for movies or whatever. And, you know, I think Schwarzenegger and Soylent Green would be good remake, a movie to remake. And also or Tom Cruise in that. And also I think Gargoyles would be good to remake. Logan's Run would be good to remake too. But anyway, looking at this full court press, MindF, you know, they even got on Eric Clapton, and oh shoot, now I can't remember his name. Another really great songwriter, musician, wrote the song. Oh hell, but they got on them for their song about, you know, opposing the shutdowns and stuff like that, and what it's doing to people. Where are all the musicians anyway? I mean, I know you can't perform live, but at least grow a set like Clapton did. Grow a set. Start, you know. You'd think by now you'd at least hear a whole lot of the country music people releasing songs, questioning things, and protesting what's going on in the country. But even they're silent. Even they're silent. So I think jerk-offs like this Rick Wilson, this little Nazi terrorist Rick Wilson, and his organization and people, I think they're behind a lot of stuff, and I think they've probably are behind a lot of the telling the news media the things to say to make people afraid to speak out. I think they might have even influenced, you know, judges and mayors. That, hey, do what we say or we're gonna knock you down too. I mean, even I'm talking Democrats. I have no doubt this Rick Wilson and his group have even gone to mayors and people and city councils and stuff like this and say, hey, you better get on board with all this or we're going to get rid of you too. I have no doubt. That's the way these people operate. You know, he's talking about, oh, they're going to hunt down Republicans and Trump supporters, people who voted for Trump. I have no doubt they would also, because this guy's a little, take a look at him. This guy's a little tyrant. I have no doubt that they would go after Democrats too. There's somebody going after a bunch of those Democrats because there's a lot of them been awful silent and gone along with a lot of shit that you got to go, what'd they have on you? What did they have on you in your city council? What did they have on you, congressman or congresswoman? What did they have on you that made you stand idly by or to say things in favor of all the bullshit that went on this summer? Somebody's pulling the strings somewhere. They tell you they destroy your career. Did they have something on you? Did you commit adultery or something? What? What is it? Did they have you taking a bribe? You got to wonder. You have got to wonder why so many people have gone along with things they know are wrong. Just for the vote, just to get the votes and power? In a lot of cases, I'm sure of it. I am positive of it, just like I'm sure a lot of the Republicans only did things this summer and stood up for the president during the impeachment and stuff like this, so you would re-vote for them. And now, once they don't need you, guess what? It happens. Same thing happens on the Democratic side. But you got to wonder, there's people pulling the strings, and you got people like this Rick Wilson who openly talk about intimidating and terrorizing people. Have no doubt that they don't do it to their own. Have no doubt. That's why I'm telling you, if you're a Democrat and you see the things that are going wrong and you know things going wrong that are being done illegally, and you see the people like this Rick Wilson and you know it's wrong, speak out now or forever hold your peace. Make a stand, damn it. Show a little bit of courage. This is your country you're talking about. This is your country you are talking about. They're talking about hunting down people who exercise their constitutional right to vote in a presidential election and elected Donald Trump and then supported that president. This is what your sons and daughters and your fathers and mothers and your grandparents and great-great-grandparents and the founding fathers died for. Is for you to be freely able to vote unhindered. Did you get to vote for Barack Obama unhindered? Yes, you did. Did anybody say they were going to hunt you down afterwards? No, they didn't. They did it the American way, and they cast their votes for Donald Trump when he ran for president. And they didn't fix voting machines or intimidate poll workers so they couldn't count ballots. A lot of people have gave their lives for that right to vote. A lot of people gave their lives so that Constitution could be written. And then they gave their lives to make sure it stood for future generations in this country. And you're going to allow people like Rick Wilson and these other people to do this to this country? Got to be kidding me. So anyway, I didn't mean to go back sidetrack there, but if you watch like History Channel, they have these shows about all this paranormal, different types of creatures and stuff and everything like that. I wonder how many of these creatures people see and everything you could relate back to those Hindu scriptures and find correlations there. Because whether you read the Hindu scriptures or the Bible, there's a lot of creatures mentioned. There's all kinds of creatures mentioned. So I just thought it was very interesting, and thought, I'd bring that up in case people wanted to look into it. And if you get a chance, check out that movie, The Gargoyles, old 70s movie. And think of it, if they were to remake it, it could be better. And same with Soylent Green. Check that out. Tell me what you think. You think Schwarzenegger would be a good actor in either of those movies? Put in the comments who you think would fit in those roles if they were to remake those movies. I think they'd be a good remake. Look at Legion. Look how big a hit that was with Will Smith. So I think some of these other old movies, if Soylent Green, Logan's Run, The Gargoyles, I think they'd be great remakes. And you look how bad the movie industry's hurting, and the box office has been hurting. And look at movies like Legion, how much money they brought in. So you got a ready-made story. They were good stories. They were big hits in the 70s. So anyhow, I'll leave you all with that food for thought. And like I said, I'm sorry for, I know I had a vein going to my forehead there on a couple of these, but I'm sorry. When I turned the TV on, I saw that guy talking about that, hunting people down and shitting that reporter, if you want to call him that, just sitting there going along with it. Nobody saying, hey, asshole, this is America. You don't hunt people down because of the way they voted or because they supported their president. Where the hell are you, Congress? Where the hell are you, Congress? The United States Congress is nothing anymore but a bunch of cowards and thieves. Cowards and thieves. And you got to know they're thieves whether you're a Democrat or a Republican. We are taxed on everything under the sun in this country anymore. And all you billionaires, we wouldn't mind paying more taxes. Really? Tell you what, instead of paying more taxes and talking about raising tax rates and all that and everything, you got all that money. Why don't you just start forking it over to charities that provide or build hospitals with it? Why do you say, we'll give it, hey, taxes, we'll give it to the government? Screw that. Why aren't you building hospitals? Why aren't you putting people through medical school who have the aptitude for it? Why aren't you giving to charities that help people in refugee camps all around the world? Why are you just sitting on all that money that you say you're so willing to give to the government? Screw the government. I pass through some of these cities where, where all this rundown shit is and everything like that, and I think, if you had the money, you could bulldoze that, you could build this, whatever, you could open a business there and give people jobs. That's like one of my previous videos way back. I said, you got all these rich African Americans, Oprah, LeBron, and they don't have to be just African Americans. I'm just pointing this out, though. You see like that African American lady who ran for office in Baltimore. I don't know if she won, but she walked through those neighborhoods and stuff. I've been through those neighborhoods. And the whole time I'm thinking, man, why don't somebody come in here that's got the money and knock these buildings down and put up new buildings and open businesses, etc.? I see opportunity when I go through areas like that. There's plenty of opportunity there if you got the money. I don't have the money. So all you billionaires who say you're willing to give it to the government, screw the government. Go in there, there's nothing stopping you. Which is why I say you're a bunch of, liars. That's all. You're all full of shit. Hey Oprah, hey LeBron. Why don't you go through some of the neighborhoods, man? You could buy that property. put in some houses or, you know, nice apartments or something, and another little area where people in that community could have little businesses. Not selling dope like Bernie Sanders said, but maybe a little coffee shop or something they might like to have or own. People are a bunch of, oh, we don't mind paying, we'll give it to the government. We don't. Screw that. Go into those neighborhoods and invest your money. I wish you all the best out there. God bless. And really, honestly, no matter what religion you are, you got to quit quibbling over the minor differences. You need to start banding together. If you believe in truth and you believe in God, you got to start banding together around the world and say, you're not going to come into our countries and push homosexuality, and you're not going to push this, you know, you can't tell little boys if they're, you know, and girls if they're boys and girls, and all the other crap they want to push on you. I'm telling you, you better beware out there. You see what's happening in America? They want to export all this crap to your countries. Wish you all the best out there. God bless.